Yeah.
You guys, multiple times you're looking out. And if you're going to keep it how you have it, you need to work on one thing. Where are you looking? If your eyes are wandering, and it's weird, with the stage lighting, I can see the whites of your eyes. I was in the way back. And so you can see where you're looking and what you're doing. So are you focusing on one spot? Did you find where his voice is coming from? Like if I was outside and you were trying to figure out where I was, how would you be looking? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That needs to come across a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go to the very beginning of the show. First off, the set, I love.
Oh,
I
cool.
love the set. When I walked in and I'm like, oh, I love the angle. I love how it's turned. Oh, the chalkboard. I like the chair tacked over. I thought that was wonderful. You guys were in the ghetto. Let's see here. The side lighting, cool effect with the train light at the beginning. I loved that idea. That I don't know if it's in the script or not, or if you guys came up with that. I loved the thought of you're in the train and the train is progressing you. Like it's like transporting the bodies. Like that's what I got from it. Hopefully that's what you were trying to portray. The introductions at the beginning. Slow them down just a little because they got backlogged. So like when you had finished, they were in line waiting to put their paper up. Does that make sense? Like your rhythmic is perfect. So either you guys got to figure out how to put paper up faster, or you need to slow down. One of the two.
Yep.
It just needs. I want to hit it because the spacing is what makes it cool.
Yeah.
Because you're so rhetoric with it, I should see the bodies going across in that motion. It's like boom, boom, and it's just like one after the other. You want to just hit me in the face with those names. That's the idea, right? Yeah.
Hi.
Dear Lordy.
So that's something that I either slow it down or figure out the paper transition. Children, how old are you? What's your age? 9 to 11.
No, 16.
9 to 11.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I couldn't tell. So you need to make it pretend. Here's what I tell my cast: the judges are stupid. You need to hit them in the face so hard with the content that they have no question that, right, you are a kid. I get that. And then all of a sudden, I can see you mature. Because judges are going to look for little nitpicky things that they'll be like, I didn't believe that character. Was their age progressing? What's happening over the time period? So at the beginning, I wrote just question mark, your children's age, the poetry. When you guys all read it, I loved when you froze, by the way. I thought that was pretty cool. You all froze and you all stood up and you said something you are longing for, yes? Was it yeah, when I go home. So your characters are so young, I want to see that childlike innocence. You know what I mean? In your voices, in your movements while you're portraying it. Because you're thinking of getting out of this ghetto type environment, right? But as a 9-year-old, I honestly don't know if they can comprehend the full complexity of what is happening. That's where your role is key. The teacher role needs to get bigger. Okay? Like, I need to know you are the adult the whole time, and then when her character gets older, I need to see a breakdown moment with her. You've grown up with it. When your child got thrown off, all that kind of stuff. I need to see and feel that with you. So like when you're telling it to her, having a complete breakdown. Because like you two were interacting with those lines, and it seemed, and I'm not bashing anyone, it seemed recited. Okay? I need to feel what we're going with. And this is going to be a general note for everyone. You can project. The key thing that probably is one of the hardest things for actors to do is bringing it back. You can always go louder. But if you start out loud, which you should, which you guys did, that was really good. If you start getting the emotion with it and you get quieter, it forces the audience to lean in. If an audience member leans in, it shows that they're engaged in the show, and by you talking quieter, you're forcing them to engage. Does that make sense? And it just pulls them into the whole storyline. You need to hit that, okay? The voice direction, love the simplicity of that. That was so cool. Your tone of voice, inflection. You guys are getting your diction, but I need to get the inflection. That's where you get your ups and downs of your voice when you're speaking. So when you're out there, imagine what your character is going through, especially your love story. I wasn't expecting a love story in this. And so I was kind of thrown. I was like, oh, we've got love, sweet. How old are your characters when they meet?
Let's say maybe
14.
Yeah.
14? Okay. So you're 14, and then how old are you when you get shipped off?
16.
16. Okay, wow, you guys progress fast. You guys need to work on this interaction, your voice is there, physicality I don't believe. I didn't believe that you guys liked each other. Just physically. Vocally, if I shut my eyes, I could hear it. But not physically. Does that make sense? So we need to work on some of that communication. That's where I think the wall bit can help, because being separated by the wall, you can always like turn and like touch the wall like they're on the other side. Even though there's like a wall right here, does that make sense? The audience will see it as the two sides, right? When you can see it, it's the separation idea. The Nazis were key at learning how to conquer by dividing. So they start out with just a fence where you two can still interact. I think it would be cool to pass papers back and forth between you guys. And also, all of you, when you're walking on the courtyard and everywhere, are you worried about the guards? I can't tell.
No.
I know you were supposed to be, but that's what I'm telling you, I didn't know. I didn't know you were worried about the judges. So I need to see this worry, especially in your courtyard scenes back and forth. That would be helpful. Teacher, big moment when you're opening up your soul. Well, it's the whole thing. She's talking about her kid. This is like one of the most intimate things, like giving birth to a child. And like, I have never done it. But from what I've read, it's really like there's a connection. It's you. It's part of you. And also, what happened to your husband? Or do you have a husband?
Yeah.
Okay, what happened to him?
He was left behind in. Yeah.
Okay, so that's when you said the men were left that thing. Okay. Just wondering. I like getting the background of all of it. Physical actions, you match the vocals. Oh, when your brother gets taken, great vocals, but your body was stiff, man. You need a break. You need to show me a physical angst in you, that you're just gone and out. You know that? And then, I don't know, did you guys cut this show?
Yes.
Okay. You flipped so quick to the newspaper. I'm like, your brother is gone, and now you're talking about a newspaper? What's wrong? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That transition needed to feel different. You know what I mean? Because your character changes at that point. And so I need to see, when your brother's gone, you become the lead of the male. That's what I envisioned when I was watching it. So you need to, like, we need to have some transition there between your two characters, showing that either time has passed or something later has happened. Boy-girl relationship needs, we need physicality, we need to work on that. Oh, your names. When you say Ryan, do you know how many times you say your name?
No.
Why do you think you say your name so much? What's the point?
The one thing that she actually wants.
The one thing she actually owns, but you also have your number.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Nazis are referring to you to this number, right? Your name, yeah, go, what do you got?
It's the only thing that humanizes you when you're a kid.
And that's what the Jewish culture was trying to do with each other. So every time you say your name, I want to hear like a break, because you have been demoralized, you've been beat down. So, you know what I mean? I want to ache every time I hear your name. And I think that's why in the script you say it so much. I just want to get that emotion, like at the end when you say like, my name is this. Like, yeah, holy crap. Like, look what you've gone through. You know, like you're being reduced to this number by the Nazi guy over there, right? Which, you know, sorry, you're the only one.
Wow, man.
I mean, it probably just feels horrible as you're trying to, anyways. Let's see. Ooh, head voice versus stage voice. You do a lot of narrations, yeah? To the audience.
Yeah.
You need to change your voice. I need to understand the difference between when you're talking to me than when you are talking to people on stage. Because it shows, like when you guys read stuff too, there should be a difference. Because reading, like I want you to imagine when you are talking to yourself and you hear it in your head, it sounds very different than what you're giving out here. So I want you to engage with that. So I always, like, this is one of the hardest things that my cast is working with right now, is head voice versus stage voice. How can you get me into that moment? And I don't know if it's physically stepping out of yourself. So like you're in the scene, but then you physically step out and then you can start with a new tone. You can take a breath at that moment. It will give you that calmness. That would change it. Does that make sense? Okay. Big space. Loverboy. I couldn't catch your name, so I just called you Loverboy. You need to fill this space. This theater is huge, and at one point I couldn't, like, and I don't know if it was when you were crying, but I couldn't, like, hear or understand what you were saying because it just got so soft. Does that make sense? So you gotta, and I know it's hard, especially when you go to a new stage. You don't know how big it is or what's gonna happen there. So just try to hit that. Courtyard wall. What is the butterfly? We talked about that. Head voice. Poetry. Your show, like, it's a collection of poetries from these kids, and so I need to see that portrayed throughout the whole show, especially for the characters who don't have many lines. Your characters, I watched more than, like, because it's just on YouTube, obviously I could just watch YouTube. But when you guys are on stage and they're talking, I'm not watching them. I could care less. I can hear her, right? So I'm going around and I actually noticing some of you, like, you're freezing or you're fidgeting, or like one point, I don't know, like some of you, like the lights were getting fixed and you guys were like shuffling. So we need to like hit, we need to make sure you guys are hitting what you're getting to, because honestly, the support roles is what sells the show from just mediocre to great. If you have a whole ensemble, which I'm going to tell you right now, that's one of the things that judges are going to be critiquing on, ensemble feel. Will they feel that you're all working together, or is it just these two and then you guys are just coming on to support? But if I can feel you're all engaging at the same time, that would help. So, get older, okay? Figure out how to get yourself a little older. All of you need to figure out how you can physically and vocally change your characters from a 9-year-old to a 16-year-old, how you can change that. Does that make sense? What's your name?
Hannah.
Hannah? What's your last name, Hannah?
Kidsman.
You are really good.
Oh, thank you.
I really liked when you were giving your speeches. That was really awesome.
Thank you.
So I didn't catch your name at the end there.
Oh.
But like when you hit that, you can hit the emotion. That was really good. So,
Thank you.
do you guys have questions for me?